Welcome back to Star Wars Sunday. Today we're going to cover a storyline known as Obi-Wan and Anakin. It's a storyline in which Anakin is considering giving up the Jedi life, but after an adventure with Obi-Wan, it proves to him that as a Jedi, he could accomplish so much more within the galaxy, doing so many more good acts. The story is written by Charles Soule, and the artwork is by Marco Giacchino. Above the planet of Caloran 4, the Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi and his young Padawan, Anakin Skywalker, respond to a distress call requesting Jedi assistance. But due to the debris surrounding the world, their spacecraft ends up taking damage and the two are forced to eject and make landfall without their ship. As Anakin steps out, he says that there is nothing that they could have done. The debris was so dense that even Plo Koon couldn't have gotten through safely. Obi-Wan tells him that must have been one of the two reasons why no one's come to this world. And for the other, see for yourself. Anakin looks into the chasm and sees a destroyed city and asks exactly what is going on here. Obi-Wan tells him war. The people of this planet destroyed themselves generations ago. And Anakin then asks, why did the Republic allow such a thing? Obi-Wan explains that this world was not a part of the Republic. There was nothing here the Senate needed. The Jedi Order is under the jurisdiction of the Senate, so there is nothing they could have done. Anakin shouts, so this entire world, all of these people, gone because of the system? If that's the case, the system needs to change. Obi-Wan says that perhaps someday it will, but right now they must find out who sent the broadcast. The person who sent it used an archaic phrasing as if it was sent by a Jedi from centuries ago. Anakin looks back telling him that he's pretty sure it isn't the biggest question. Isn't this world supposed to be dead? From behind the two of them, an aircraft flies by on fire, crashing down into the ravine. Anakin yells that they need to hurry up down there and help, and Obi-Wan tells him, of course, but not without this. He holds out Anakin's lightsaber, and Anakin looks at it, telling him, what I meant about leaving the Order. Obi-Wan says that if it's truly what you wish, you will need to be alive to do so, correct? A short while before departing on their mission, Anakin and the other Jedi trainees were sparring against battle droids to hone their lightsaber skills. One day during one of those sessions, Mace Windu, Chancellor Palpatine, and Obi-Wan watched as Anakin displayed incredible skill wielding his lightsaber. Knowing that he was being watched, Anakin turned to up the difficulty on the battle droid to simulate the Sith that Obi-Wan had fought back on Naboo. Palpatine smiles, stating that he's rather impressed by the boy's skill. And just as Anakin defeats the droid, he hears the comments and the other trainees making fun of him for being a slave. Anakin turns back using the Force to grab the trainees' lightsabers and points them at the two of them. Obi-Wan jumps down to stop Anakin, and Mace Windu says that Anakin's education is rather complicated. Palpatine tells him that once long ago he was that age. Perhaps they should allow him some time with the boy, show him a few things. Back in the current time, Anakin takes the lightsaber, and just as he does, more aircrafts appear fighting each other. The aircraft in front begins to go down, and Obi-Wan quickly pulls it close, allowing the people on board to jump safely to the cliff. As the aircraft falls down, Anakin makes sure that everyone's alright, and he introduces himself to the woman. The young girl says that she's fine. Her name is Kolara, and this is her mother, Pran. Before another word is said, Pran pulls out two guns and points them at Anakin and Obi-Wan, telling Kolara to step away from them now. She stares for a moment and then asks, are they open or closed? Anakin asks her, what is she talking about? They are Jedi. They came here because someone requested Jedi aid. Pran and Kolara look at each other for a moment, and then Pran asks, what in the green hells is a Jedi? But rather than waiting for an answer, Pran pulls back her guns, asking again, are they open or closed? Obi-Wan holds out his hands, telling her that there is no need for weapons, and Pran lowers the gun, stating that there is no need for. However, before she can finish, another aircraft swoops in, firing on the girls, and Pran shouts, the closed still have another air gun! The four of them jump off the side of a ledge, and Pran says that the closed won't stop until they see corpses. Obi-Wan thinks about it for a moment and then disappears, and Kolara says that he was so fast, where did he go? And Anakin tells her, up. Back on the cliff, Obi-Wan takes out his lightsaber and he throws it up at the airgun, destroying it, and then he catches the lightsaber as it returns. Pran sees a man jumping from the airgun laughing and says, look at him, he'll never make it. Anakin reaches out to catch the man's arm, stating that he will. And as he gets up, Pran asks, why would you do that? And the man pulls out a gun, shouting for Pran to drop hers. She tells the man, calling him Grecker, never. And Anakin, right in between the two of them, looks up at Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan tells him to go ahead. Within seconds, he takes out his lightsaber, cutting through the guns, leaving the two of them in awe. Once the two snap back to reality, Pran and Grecker pull out their knives and they lunge, stomping when the knives are suddenly flown by their heads. Obi-Wan holds out his hands as the knives fly up to them, stating, that is enough. Obi-Wan then says, I'm rather curious. Why are you so focused on murdering each other? Grecker shouts, have you not seen it down there? The Open have poisoned our world in the Celadon Sea. And Pran yells that he's lying. The Close started this war generations ago. The Open are trying to save the planet. Not entertaining either of them any further, Obi-Wan tells Anakin to come. They have someone that they should be looking for. And as the two turn, Grecker shouts, you should have just killed us. Obi-Wan looks back asking, "What do you mean? You look very much alive." And Grecker goes on stating, "You just gave us two choices. Freeze on this mountaintop or try and cross the Celadon Sea without weapons. We're dead either way." Kalara calls out that he's right, they won't make it. What are they supposed to do? And Obi-Wan thinks about it for a moment and then he says, "Fine, we'll see you safely there." The group makes their way down to the wrecked aircrafts and Anakin says that he may be able to use the parts of both of them to make an operational ship. Fran tells that if he can fix it and Grecker allows him to use the parts, she's willing to try this plan. Grecker then says that he doesn't like it, but it sure beats dying. And speaking of dying, they may want to take out those fancy swords. The corpse leeches have just noticed them. Obi-Wan tells Anakin that he can sense that they are mindless. They should not die simply because they have crossed their path. Use the Force to turn them away. A pack of corpse leeches jumps on Anakin, and as he tries to use the Force, the corpse leeches just break through. He's forced to cut the head off one, and as he says that, he says he's sorry. A short while later, the makeshift aircraft is completed and the group flies out, but Obi-Wan notices something different. Both Pran and Grecker have changed their minds in helping each other when he spoke of why they are here looking for someone. However, for the first time since arriving on this planet, he believes that they are safe and no one's trying to attack them. After a short while of travel, Grecker asks Obi-Wan, "So you're on your way to a distress call, huh? Where did it come from?" Obi-Wan tells him that he needs not concern himself, they're headed in the right direction. But if they need to get off somewhere, Anakin and him can make the rest of the way on their own. Pran calls out, "No, they'll get them there. It's barely safe for them, much less off-worlders." But before she can continue, she tells Grecker to look ahead. Outside is a kite flying with a box attached to it, and Grecker grabs a hook to pull it in. Once he has it, he opens the box to find a small decoration, and Grecker says that this is more than just one kind of danger, and he tosses it back out. Anakin quietly asks Kalara what is he worried about, and she says that she'll show him. It's probably something like this. She pulls out another small decoration, and Anakin says that it's beautiful. Why wouldn't they want to have them? And Kalara tells him it's because they say that they can. So Anakin shrugs off that excuse. Back in the day, though, when Anakin was with Palpatine at Club Kaskakar, Palpatine told Anakin to make sure that he keeps his hood down. He would like to thank him for accompanying him. In truth, he must say that he envies the Padawans. Training in the temple as they do their entire life is decided at such a young age, not having to make troubling choices unlike him. In truth, Anakin tells him yes. It's the best thing that could have ever happened to him. And Palpatine says, "Look out at that crowd. Anything can be procured. Lives are bought and sold every single night. It's revolting." Anakin then asks if this place is so awful, why wouldn't the Senate step in to do something? Palpatine laughs, telling him, "Please, this place is full of senators, just like Kalandorus over there." He treats the Senate like his personal bank, but the issue is that he can make it work. Maybe one day the chance cubes will turn against him. That way he can be exposed and removed from the Senate, but alas, that is just a fantasy. After making a large bet, Calandris throws the dice and they land in the casino's favor, and Palpatine and Anakin burst out laughing. As they leave the club, Palpatine says that he must ask a question. With his Jedi abilities, can he move objects with the Force? Anakin says yes, actually he's quite skilled at his age. And Palpatine asks, could he use those abilities to move, perhaps, chance cubes? Anakin doesn't say anything, and Palpatine places his hand on Anakin's shoulder and he smiles. Back in the current time, Anakin begins working on his lightsaber making adjustments, and Kalara leans in asking what he's doing. He says that he's fixing a few things. Last time he used it, it felt off. She smiles, stating that he seems to like fixing things. He should stay here. Their planet is full of broken things. Kalara turns back to Prawn, asking if she could come over for a moment. She has something to show her. As Prawn walks over, Kalara says that Anakin here can fix things. Maybe he could. She pulls out a small object, handing it to him, asking if he can fix this. He looks at it and says that it's pretty old tech, but it looks like a central processor for a droid or a mech. He can try and look at it. After a few tweaks, the processor lights up and Pran says that this could change everything. She then pulls Kalara aside, whispering that he is the key. There is no choice. They must act now. Anakin continues working on the processor when suddenly the airship is attacked by fishers. The fishers throw their hooks onto the airship and they start climbing aboard when Obi-Wan and Grecker hold the group back. As some of them start to come onto the other side, Anakin reaches for his lightsaber but notices that it's gone. He looks at Kalara, who's holding it, and he asks what she's doing, and she throws it out the window. Pran then smacks him in the back of the head with a wrench, telling him that she's sorry for what it's worth. As Obi-Wan and Grecker begin to get overwhelmed, Obi-Wan begins to shout, asking where is Anakin, and when he looks back, he sees Pran loading Anakin up into an escape glider, pushing him out. The glider's wings spring open, and it circles back around, and Kalara says that they don't have to, but Pran says yes, they do! And then she opens fire, destroying the airbag, keeping the airship that they're on afloat. As the airship begins to drop, Obi-Wan grabs Grecker and he jumps onto a ledge. Soon the fishers quickly surround them. Obi-Wan tells them not to force his hand, and Grecker just shouts, "Just kill them! They're beasts!" After taking a break, Obi-Wan swings his lightsaber through a rock, and the fishers take that as a sign of power and leave. Obi-Wan then turns back to Grecker, asking where did they take Anakin, and Grecker says that he doesn't know. Maybe one of their fortresses? They burrow into the mountaintops above the Celadon Sea. Obi-Wan says that he's going to continue on to the location of the distress signal. Anakin will find his way to them. But back at one of the fortresses, Pran lands the glider in their hangar, and as some of the others open up, they ask, "Who is that?" And she tells them that he is a gift. She hops onto a mech and places the processor that Anakin fixed into it, with the mech coming to life. One of the men shouts that this will change everything. They can finally destroy the closed. She touches Anakin's face, saying yes, all thanks to Anakin, he saved them. Back with Obi-Wan, him and Grecker are traveling to the ruins when suddenly a giant creature comes out, roaring at the two of them. Obi-Wan's lightsaber comes out and he says not to worry, he's going to handle this. And another voice calls out, "By the stars, it's the Jedi!" Grecker hears that and fires off a flare, and Obi-Wan asks, what did he just do? He told him not to. More creatures begin to crawl out on Obi-Wan's side, stating that he's got this. And then from behind the two of them, a door opens up and a woman tells Grecker to hurry up and get inside. He runs in stating thank you. He thought that he was dead. Now close the door before the woman pulls out a blaster, shooting Grecker, telling him that no, he isn't. Seconds later, Obi-Wan pulls open the door asking what did she just do, and the woman tells him that she saved his life. Now come with her. There's much that she has to show him. The two walk down the steps, and as Obi-Wan looks at the salvaged items, he asks, what is it? The woman says that this is their hope. Her name is Sarah, and this place is her life's work. These are the remnants of the world that was. Obi-Wan tells her that she's the one setting up the kites, and Sarah smiles, stating yes. Small things. It is her hope that they reach the hands of the people receptive to what they represent. It is too late for the old generation, but the young? There's always hope for the young. Obi-Wan then asks, what about the distress signal? And Sarah tells him yes, she's going to need someone to finish their work. She has scavenged the world searching for anything beautiful. That is when she came across the hologram of the Jedi, and she knew that they would save them. The people of this world have never come together. And Obi-Wan says actually members of both sides assisted him in coming here. She laughs, stating that if that was true, it's only because they presented a chance to find her. Both closed and open are searching for her to kill her. The closed and open wish to forget the old times and erase them from history. The things that are sent up are supposed to remind them of the things that they lost and how badly they failed. But now they wish to destroy everything, including their rivals. The only thing the closed and the open understand is war. Back at the fortress, Pran and her men move out to attack Sarah, leaving Anakin alone with the other children keeping watch. Kalara tells him that she's sorry for kidnapping him, but they didn't have a choice. Pran is their leader, and Anakin says that's fine. But who exactly is the scavenger that everyone is looking for? Kalara explains that no one really knows who the scavenger is, but they send out things from before the war, things that aren't really for anything, they're just beautiful. Anakin tells her that the word that she is looking for is art. And now he understands why the adults are so afraid of the scavenger. They're a distraction to them. The scavenger is showing them things how they used to be. Another child then asks, why is someone from their world thinking that he knows what's going on? And Anakin says, fine, just let him ask one question. How many of the pieces of art are from the scavenger? He knows Kalara has one, but do the rest of you? Everyone falls silent and each of them begin to pull out a piece of art that Sarah sent out. And Anakin says that he thought so. Look, we can help each other right here. I want to get back to my master. And I can help you fix the things here, but I can't do it alone. Back inside of Sarah's house, she begins pulling out something when she begins to hold out a holovid of a still image of a Jedi. She says that it used to move. It told the whole story and instructions of how to call upon the Jedi. But like everything else, it's broken. Just one picture in black and white. However, that gave her an idea. She could call upon the Jedi so that they could kill the open and the closed. That way she could start over with the young. Obi-Wan pauses, then asks, when that screen used to play, what color was the person's lightsaber in the video? She tells him, it was red. But what does that matter? Before Obi-Wan could respond, a loud explosion goes off, and Obi-Wan and Sarah begin to rush outside. Surrounding the base, the closed fly in on their airships, and they flood the ground with troops. Obi-Wan says that it must have been when Grecker sent out that flare, and Sarah tells him that it doesn't matter, he can go down and kill them all, right? Obi-Wan looks back down to the men and says that there's something that she should know about the Jedi. Whenever possible, they spare everyone. As Obi-Wan jumps down to confront the man leading the charge, a voice calls out to kill him. Grecker shuffles forward, telling the leader to kill him and burn this place to the ground. The closed begin to open fire on Obi-Wan, but with them using old guns, shards from the deflected bullets tear into Obi-Wan's arm. He begins to retreat back, and just as the closed stop him, something blasts the closed where they stand. Everyone looks back to see the giant mechs from the open walking towards them, and Pran telling everyone, hello! Soon more explosions go off, and an all-out firefight erupts. Obi-Wan tries to pick himself up from the ground, asking Pran where is his Padawan? Where is Anakin? Pran doesn't answer him, and just as her minigun begins to spin, something rockets down, grabbing Obi-Wan. Anakin asks Obi-Wan if he's alright, and he says yes, but where did he get a flying machine? Up on Sarah's roof, the other kids touch down to check on her, and Sarah turns back to Obi-Wan shouting, "This is all your fault! I thought you could help us! Now both the clothes and the open are on my doorstep, and even if I did call for help, it would be too late." Anakin then asks, "Wait, what are you saying? We're not killers." Obi-Wan tells Anakin, "Of course not, but come with him, he has an idea." Once inside, Obi-Wan has Anakin beginning to work on repairing the communications device, telling him that they have to hurry. A short while later, back outside, the fighting continues, but suddenly there is a loud sound coming from the sky. Everyone stops looking up to see the Republic starships, and they're starting to descend out when they announce, "Cease all hostilities." As Obi-Wan and Anakin step back out, Anakin asks how, and Obi-Wan says that he may have told the Republic that there were high concentrations of Tabana gas. Anakin then asks, "What, they just believed you?" And Obi-Wan explains, yes. It's not because Obi-Wan Kenobi called them, it's because a Jedi cult. Being a Jedi isn't about power and lightsabers, it's about connections. Being a part of something bigger. Obi-Wan reaches down into his robes, pulling out Anakin's lightsaber, stating, "You're stronger as a part of the Jedi Order than you could ever be alone. So the road before you, Anakin Skywalker, will you walk it alone or will you become a Jedi?" Anakin looks at the lightsaber and tells him no. He will walk it as a Jedi, if he will show him the way. And there you have it. Anakin thinks that in the future, everything will be much better as he will be a Jedi warrior, saving the galaxy. Nothing terrible could ever come out of Anakin being a Jedi warrior, right? Yeah, he turns into Darth Vader if you didn't know that. Yeah, so I just filling you in. Spoilers for like episodes 4, 5, and 6 if you didn't watch the originals, or, you know, the 1, 2, and 3, or like all of the lore out there in the world, or if you somehow avoided that knowledge, I'm apologizing. Anyway, don't forget to check out our Star Wars Sunday playlist. You can also check out something else recommended by YouTube over here, and you can follow us on Twitter at Comicstorian. We hope to see you there. Thank you for your time.